Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video is part 10 in our Deuteronomy 28 punishments in the Septuagint. Let's begin, shall we? Quote, "And these things shall be signs in thee, and wonders among thy seed forever, because thou didst not serve the Lord thy God with gladness and a good heart, because of the abundance of all things." Stop! What? There's nothing new under the sun, huh? Question. What is the difference between our ancestors and you white/mulatto Jesus loving, civil rights believing, we just can't still be under the punishments because we shall overcome people? The answer is absolutely nothing. Another question for a theory I have. How many of you brothers and sisters listening to this video make over $75K per year? You know, low rent balling. I ask because it seems mind you, the higher in salary you are, the further away from Yah you become. Now, don't get me wrong. If you do make that much, look around at how rare you truly are and praise Yah even the more. Now, how many Christians do you know making that amount? Plenty, right? Perceive the questions, people. Let's continue. Quote, "And thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord will send forth against thee." Stop! This pinpoints only some of the so-called African Americans. Why? Because our ancestors never had to serve an enemy who came upon them. Remember, we went to Egypt and didn't have to serve in Babylon. Nor did the Assyrians use the entire 10 tribes for labor. I said it like that because they might have used, if they were fiscally prudent, used the tribe of Dan because of their sailing experience, that is. Nor did the heathen Afrikaners have to come and get us. The only people who Yah could have sent forth against us, and we served them, are the ancestors of the people your daughters and sons are being gagged and snow coning with today. I can't believe how many black men are advocating getting a snow cone. Yeah, the chicks of the nations can be beautiful, but you guys act like snow cones don't give you a brain freeze. Let's continue. Quote, "And thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord will send forth against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things," semicolon, and stop. This pinpoints yet again the so-called African American. How? We were the only nation in servitude to the crackers who, quote, "were in want of all things." The Native Americans and the fake-ass Ephraim were already home, thus having things to begin with. If they don't fit, you must acquit. But wait! There is a semicolon behind the word things and just before the word and. This can only mean what comes next is in conjunction to what we just read. That can only mean this will be a complete prophecy, which can only mean the least common denominator is, to fulfill it, you must fulfill all of it to show yourself approved. Let's continue. Quote, "And thou shalt serve thine enemies," with an S, "which the Lord will send forth against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and thou shalt wear upon thy neck a yoke of iron until he have destroyed thee. Stop! Nah, not even the cracker nor the impostor proselytized Ephraim will dispute this. Let's continue. Quote, the Lord shall bring upon thee a nation from the extremity of the earth. Stop! This can't be talking about Rome, the Assyrians, Babylonians, or any country in walking distance, or where commerce was already taking place. Can it? This can't be talking about the Native Americans either. Why? Because neither the white man nor did the French come over to them as enemies. The enemy part came after the pilgrims started stealing and had to eat the carcasses of the dead Indians to survive. The rest is history. But some of the so-called African Americans fit this prophecy like a glove. Let's continue to see if there are any more pinpoint indicators, shall we? Quote, the Lord shall bring upon thee a nation from the extremity of the earth, like the swift flying of an eagle, a nation whose voice thou shalt not understand. Stop! Eagle? Maybe just a coincidence. But a nation whose voice thou shalt not understand? A dead ringer. Why? Because Israel had dealings in commerce with nations as far as China on one side and Persia on the other. Compliments of being either vassals or captives of those who had regular trade in the major cities. We were smart. Let's continue. Quote, a nation bold in continence, which shall not respect the persons of the age and shall not pity the young. Stop! According to the Southern Poverty Law Center report, under SPLC exposes needless prosecution of children as adults in New Orleans. Quote, the district attorney in New Orleans, in Louisiana, Orleans Parish, let me say it again. The district attorney in Louisiana's Orleans Parish chooses to prosecute children in adult criminal court in unprecedented numbers, an approach that has failed to protect public safety and increases the likelihood that juveniles will end up behind bars again. According to a report released by the Southern Poverty Law Center in February, in the report, the SPLC examines how District Attorney Leon Cannizzaro, Cannizzaro, prosecutes children as adults in most every case in which he has the option. He chooses this course even for children with no prior delinquency records, children with mental illnesses or developmental disabilities, and children accused of non-violent offenses. The report was released before a subcommittee of the New Orleans City Council examined the district attorney's practices, which is starkly at odds with expert opinion on public safety and inconsistent with the most recent neuroscience involving children. Personal quote, pushing as many children as possible into adult courts is not a strategy for creating safer communities, said Lisa Graybill, SPLC Deputy Legal Director. Between 2011 and 2014, C.A. Cannizzaro sent more than 80% of cases involving 15 through 16-year-olds charged with certain offenses into the adult system when that was an option. Under state law, a judge has no say in these decisions. Discretion rests solely with each parish's district attorney. According to a data sample made available to the SPLC, roughly 60% of children prosecuted as adults in Orleans Parish have little or no delinquency record, despite Canizano, whatever his fucking name is, sending 200 children into adult court since assuming office in 2009. Arrest in Orleans Parish for offenses that make a child eligible for transfer to the adult systems are up. Example. So as you can see, we are not only still within the punishments, it seems we are only in the heart of them and haven't overcome anything. Now that I have a moment of clarity and look at just how rebellious the meaning is, I am sure that song was channeled by a demon. Thank you for looking at this video and look for the next.